Deep in the Amazon rainforest, when light pierces the leaves, the forest floor seems peaceful. But a tiny sign, a falling branch, or a soft sound can make the forest tremble. A creature exists that even leopards, pythons, or birds of prey do not dare to underestimate. They have no claws, no venom, but possess the most terrifying weapon: numbers, discipline, and a will to die. That is the army ant, the most bloodthirsty and ruthless force in nature. Unlike other ants that build fixed nests, army ants are nomads. They do not live in one place. They do not build houses. They do not store food. They have only one ideal: to move and hunt. Each colony can number in the hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. Every day, they migrate, leaving behind the corpses of any creature not fast enough to escape. Wherever they go, the wild, dense forest becomes a battlefield.
They eat insects, spiders, and even young birds, small snakes, and lizards.
Anything that is alive and cannot run away will be consumed. Imagine a leaderless army that acts as a single, unified force. When scouts find a colony of insects, they immediately release pheromones to guide the others. Within minutes, hundreds of soldiers appear to tear the enemy apart. If the target is large, thousands will swarm together. They know no fear. An individual ant may be smaller than a human fingernail, but when tens of thousands bite at once, even a snake will struggle in vain. They bite with their lower jaws, never letting go, even if their bodies are torn apart. Some are even cut in half, but still try to cling to their prey until they die. They do not sleep in nests, but create living nests.
Thousands of soldier ants use their own bodies to create chains, clinging to each other.
This protects the queen and larvae in the center. It is a giant, soft, yet sturdy bridge. Night falls, and in the dark forest, the living nest breathes with heat. It pulses with the heartbeat of thousands of tiny creatures. An empire sleeps, waiting for morning to continue its conquest. When the queen reproduces, the army pauses. The queen lays thousands of eggs every day, creating the next generation of warriors. The soldiers are busy raising the larvae, but still keep hunting to maintain energy. When the eggs hatch, the whole colony is on the move again. And when they move, nothing will be left behind. Many scientists have tried to follow the ant trail for days. Their conclusion is simple: do not get caught in their path.
Even if you are 10 million times larger, you can still be eaten alive.
Because army ants are not just a species, they are a concept. They are the embodiment of order, war, and the purest survival instinct. No emotions, no forgiveness. Touch is death, run is life. If you are not fast enough, you will become a fragment in their bloodthirsty meal. But the forest is not just for the conquerors. In the shadows, other empires are growing, silent but no less magnificent. Not far away, a small individual, seemingly insignificant, will become the queen of a kingdom. That is the queen of the leafcutter termites. After mating, the queen prepares to lay eggs. The male that mated with her slowly dies from exhaustion. Now, all hope rests on the queen. To avoid danger, she must quickly dig deep into the earth. Now, all hope rests on the queen. The deeper she digs, the more her wings become a burden. She cannot let anything slow down this process. The queen breaks off her own wings with her hind legs. For her, that pain is nothing compared to the journey of establishing an empire. Once the path is open, she will seal herself in eternal darkness. The queen sacrifices her body to lay the first batch of eggs. The early stage, in the nest without food. She survives by digesting her wing muscles and dissolving part of her brain. Before leaving the mother nest, she carried a small piece of fungus in her mouth like a dowry. To let the fungus grow quickly, she does not hesitate to use her own unhatched eggs for nourishment. When the first worker termites are born, they take over the care of the fungus. They use bacteria in their mouths to maintain the growth of the fungus. With food, the queen continues to lay eggs. But as the colony grows, the demand for food increases.
The queen eats more to turn food into nutrition for the eggs,
helping to create larger larvae. These larvae have sharp jaws containing heavy metals like manganese and copper, making them highly effective workers. When their bodies are hard, they immediately rush into work without rest. The fungus releases chemical signals to indicate which leaves are needed. In response, the termites are ready to climb trees up to 40 meters high, to harvest fresh leaves from the canopy. Most of their body mass is in their head muscles, with jaws like scissors, cutting decisively. The sound of leaf cutting also attracts other individuals to help. Under undisturbed conditions, they can consume all the leaves on a tree in just 20 hours. In the world of ants, there is no room for laziness. They line up neatly, transporting materials without stopping. With small bodies, they can carry loads 10 times their own weight. inheritance. Working tirelessly every day has become a deep-rooted instinct in their genes. During collection, they increasingly refine their harvesting methods to be faster and more efficient. Though there are sometimes mistakes, they have never returned empty-handed. Living long in the shadows makes their vision gradually fade. They rely on scent to find their way home. When they encounter obstacles like before, if the obstacle persists for too long, the high-ranking soldiers will immediately come to drive them away. On the transport route, the soldiers take care of cleaning to ensure smooth passage. Despite the hardships, the moment they return to the nest is when all efforts are rewarded. The leaves are neatly arranged, ensuring every unit of fungus has enough food. In return, the fungus grows white mushroom branches, the source of life for the larvae, and provides energy for the queen to continue laying eggs. When the fungus grows strong, the soldiers continue to dig to expand the space. In just half a year, the number of ants has reached the 5 million mark. With abundant food, the queen is like a giant egg-laying machine. Now, she gradually withdraws from the role of commander, but once again must sacrifice. The soldiers decide to bury the queen's body with the very white mushroom trees. Keeping her alive under controlled conditions to continue laying eggs without rest. She will lay eggs until she is completely exhausted. With full supplies, the number of yellow ants increases strongly. And the forest now seems like their natural pantry. The yellow ant kingdom is entering a period of prosperity. However, the first threat comes from the trees themselves. Originally considered weak, but when the trees collectively resist, the consequences for the ants are tragic. When sharp, knife-like teeth cut through the leaves. Some mother trees feel the damage and activate a defense mechanism. They release toxins on the leaf surface.
When the toxic leaves are brought to the nest, the fungus, the life source of the ant nest, will be poisoned and quickly wither.
This is an effective defensive strategy of the tree, forcing the ants to constantly change their cutting area. Looking at it from another angle, this both gives the tree a chance to recover and helps the leafcutter ants maintain long-term resources. However, this toxin also causes a bigger problem, which is the living fungus. Some yellow ants infected with fungus are forced to climb high trees, completely controlled. When they find the ideal location, the fungus forces the ants to bite tightly into the leaf and wait for death. When the ant dies, the fungus erupts, piercing through its head and spreading spores with the wind. Repeating the terrifying infection cycle. While the queen of the leafcutter ants is still grieving the loss of her children, the army ant legion has approached the nest. The leafcutter ant nest is right on the army ants' migration route. A life and death battle is about to break out. The army ants pour into the nest like a tidal wave. Although possessing sharp teeth, the leafcutter ants do not suffer from weakness. The worker ants immediately disperse the larvae. In a one-on-one fight, the leafcutter ants lose to the army ants. But if they are of one mind, they can still resist effectively. As the army ant legion continues to pour into the nest, a decisive battle officially begins. The army ant queen sends signals, ordering the hunt for the leafcutter ant queen.
If she is destroyed, the war ends.
But the leafcutter ant queen is not easily subdued. She also hides a refined army, which is the guard ants. Giant warriors, 5 times the size of army ants. With black teeth, not for cutting leaves, but for crushing enemies.
Muscles cover the entire head, helping them crush anything.
Thanks to superior strength and the cooperation of the entire army, the situation quickly reverses.
The army ant legion is forced to retreat, and the leafcutter ant nest regains control.
After the war, corpses are everywhere. The guard ants immediately start cleaning up, because corpses can cause mold to spread. They throw the corpses into a deep hole, accepting the infection, and they never return to the nest. The dark tomb becomes their workplace until their last breath.
Victory seems to bring new vitality to the kingdom.
The queen lays her first batch of winged ants. The males and females are ready to leave the nest in favorable weather to mate, continuing the empire's bloodline. After the bitter defeat by the leafcutter ants, the army ant legion does not stop to mourn. For them, every failure is just a small obstacle on the path of conquest. They continue to go deep into the forest. Crossing dark leaf layers where the sun is only faint light on the damp earth. And then, the army ant legion detects a new signal.
A large black bullet ant nest is floating between the ancient tree branches. No hesitation, the queen gives the order.
A silent command spreads through pheromones, making the entire army move like a giant body.
The war begins again.
Thousands of army ants begin to climb the tree, tightening their formation like biological ropes.
High above, the black ants are ready.
They do not run away.
This is their territory.
The black ant warriors rise up, resisting with everything they have. However, the smaller body, weaker jaw, and lack of the army ant's madness make them quickly lose ground.
The army and legion does not fight with individual strength, but with ruthless tactics.
They bite into the opponent, then throw themselves off the tree, dragging both down to the ground. The fall does not kill them, but is enough to break the black ant's body and open a path for the comrades behind.
In less than an hour, the defense line collapsed.
The black ant nest was shattered. Fat larvae, pure protein, were pulled out of the nest like treasure just discovered.
A terrifying feast begins. Nothing in the jungle escapes the hungry eyes of the army ants.
They collect everything: eggs, larvae, surviving ants, stored food, and everything must be presented to the queen.
That is the law. That is the absolute loyalty.
When encountering a small river blocking the way, the army ants use their own bodies to build a bridge.
And they connect to form a living bridge across the water.
Those carrying war booty pass over the backs of their comrades, taking safe steps through the harsh wilderness.
Every ant is a link, a part of the unstoppable survival machine.
In just one day, more than 30,000 creatures were captured.
The Amazon rainforest seems infinite, adding another scratch from the most ruthless army in nature. The army and legion grows stronger. They are full, powerful, and thirstier for blood than ever before.
After a long day of slaughter and looting, the army ant legion retreats to a cool, shady area under the forest canopy.
No nest, no fixed place to hide. They create a fortress with their own bodies.
Tens of thousands of soldier ants link together, hooking their feet to their stomachs, hooking their jaws to the backs of their peers.
Creating a living bridge, a center for the queen to rest.
When the night passes and the morning light shines on the first leaves, the living bridge begins to transform. The reorganized formation, millions of individuals pull away from their positions and merge into a biological river.
In the plains, far away, on a moonlit night, thousands of winged termites, male.
Together, they begin a mating ceremony.
Thanks to shimmering wings reflecting the moonlight, they fly out to meet other males and females from different nests.
Pair by pair, they bond. In the myriad of the same species, they find the other half of their lives, drawn by an irresistible force. That night, if lucky, they will become a king and queen of a new kingdom.
After successfully mating, they immediately leave to find a secret cave.
In the deep, dark shadows, they mate and begin building their kingdom. The next morning, only a few survivors remain, hiding in the soil. The rest, tens of thousands, will become favorite food for other species. Many are rejected from mating and swallowed. Their lives are short, and only reproduction is the single path of survival. But this time, the hunters do not give them a chance. The end is only one, becoming protein in the stomach of another creature.